And welcome everybody to Wednesday night Racing for a Cause here on Racing for a Cause TV. We've got the late models and they are ready to fly here around Langley. And for the second week in a row, I'm not sure what's happening. My computer refusing to show off any qualifying laps. So we're gonna have to see how it all shapes up when it's all said and done. We see the top 15 right now. Well, I guess 14. AJ Hamill looks like he has the pole of 15.502. Thomas Axum, 15.570. Brian Rogers, 15.672. There's your top three. And we've got Al Smith Jr., Justin McDuff, Andy Lambert, Jason Fluffy Garrett, Justin J.P. Pinnell, Peyton Johnson, Phil Otto round out your top 10. Rick Greenaway, Doug Wasaki, Justin Napier, and Charles Widener. That is your starting field, as long as we might have one more coming on track here. We're going to figure it all out here just around the corner. We'll be right back with you. my goodness. Oh, guys, you don't know how much I've been talking without turning on my mic. Oh my goodness. Well, I can't start it over, so we'll just say thanks for saying something, JP. Laura, welcome to the broadcast. Really do appreciate it. It's a problem when you're doing it by yourself, guys. You miss buttons and sliders, and next thing you know, you're 11 laps in and nobody had any idea what you were saying. Alright, well, now that you can hear me, up front, AJ Hamel, he kicks it off really nice in that 14. Thomas Axum, he falls down low. He's following Hamel. That low line, definitely the preferred line, and Thomas Axum all over the back bumper again. Right now, Jason Garrett and the 12 car of Brian Rogers, they're having a fight. Jason Garrett on the outside, 20 car, Justin McDuff, he's on the inside, that preferred line, Justin McDuff trying to get position back on the 73 car. Sorry, Laura. I feel like I'm disappointed, 10 laps, you didn't hear a word I said. Boy, I was talking up a storm. You wouldn't even know it. Well, I think this is important enough. We're going to do it again. Tonight's race, the American Cancer Society 150 here at Langley Speedway in Hampton, USA. We're getting 150 laps of action. My goodness, this is going to be awesome. The other thing I did mention when you couldn't hear me, remember, you can only pit one time in this series. One time and one time only for tires. Be it 2 tires or 4, it doesn't really matter. So if you're going to do it, make it count. AJ Hamel has absolutely dominated the last couple of weeks in this series. He's won both, led most laps. I don't know if there was an award for looking the best. He probably did that one too. He's been so good the last couple of weeks. AJ Hamel up front, and the man that he is looking at, Andy Lambert, 4 laps down, so he was definitely involved in that early car incident. Andy Lambert trying to stay out in front. I don't know if he's got the car to do it. We're going to have to wait and see. Andy Lambert trying to stay from going 5 laps down. Thanks, Laura. Hey, I wasn't missing me. I was hearing my own voice. It was great. Except for I don't like the sound of my own voice. So there we go. Alright, so we've got Hamel, Rogers, Axum. Rogers able to get around Thomas Axum. Puts Axum down to 3rd. Justin McDuff still in 4th. Jason Garrett putting the pressure on. Jason Garrett in the 73. We call him Fluffy. He's trying to put the pressure on and get back into that 4th place position. Justin McDuff having nothing of it right now. Hugging that yellow line. Staying right where he needs to be. You said Jason Garrett come down just a little bit more. He got to bounce out of that front end. Got to be a little careful of that curbing. It will kick you out loose. Langley, not the fastest track that we come to, even for short tracks. But you're going to see 95-ish miles an hour at the end of the straightaway before they have to get hard on the brakes. Jason Garrett driving like a man possessed right now. That 73 car really diving down. If he's not careful, he could get that car really upset. But so far, so good. Speaking of doing pretty good, Andy Lambert so far able to hold off the 14 car. AJ Hamel, your leader. AJ just not able to find him. We'll see if that changes later on here as the tires start wearing in. Don't know if they're out there yet, but if the 60 crowd is, there he is. JP, Justin Pinnell, running 7th. Well, JP, I know you're listening. So, there you go, bud. There's your plug for the night. So far, anyway. Running in 7th. Perhaps saving some tires. Right behind him, Chris Mefford running 8th in the 44. Doug Wasaki running 9th. That's the 45 car. Good looking car tonight. And Laura's guy, Peyton Johnson. sitting right there. Top 10. Justin Napier, Rick Greenaway, Phil Otto, Charles Widner. Of course, we know Andy is just in front of the leader, so it's a pretty good rundown of the field as we have it right now. Again, I want to thank you guys for coming out and watching us here on Racing for a Cause TV, bringing you Racing for a Cause action. T. Roy Radford wishes he was racing tonight. He likes Langley. Just watched a text come over that said so. So AJ Hamill doing what he's been doing for the last couple of weeks, just getting out front, running his line, no real pressure. Brian Rogers right behind, not really willing to put the pressure on at this point. Thomas Axum looks like he's settled down into a line and just kind of running some laps down. All 15 cars that started are still on the track. Andy Lambert down 4 laps, but you never know. Cautions could get him right back up in this. And he's fast. You can tell he's fast because he's staying out front of the leader. Pretty cool shot right there, right on the wall. Watching these cars navigate these corners. It is a relatively flat track, which is why you don't have some of the speed that we see on some of our shorter tracks. If you don't control it just right, bad things will happen. You'll push up and probably smack the wall. Inside the 14 car of AJ Hamill, just looking out the front windshield, you see right there the 70 car. That's Andy Lambert. He's trying desperately to stay in front of the leader right now. Andy Lambert starting to catch the tail end of the field. AJ Hamill right behind him. He's set to start making some cars go down laps here. Right now, the interval between first and second, 0.8 of a second. AJ Hamill to Brian Rogers. Just a little behind him in the 13, Thomas Axum. It's like Jason Garrett getting out of sorts a little bit. Gets a little push out of that car, loses his position to Al Smith Jr. Jason Garrett outside of the top 5 for the first time in a long time. Well, with the traffic, you see it right there. The 70 car really having a tough time running the line that he was running. AJ Hamill in the 14, the leader, starting to catch up to Andy's car. Phil Otto pushes up. That gives Andy a chance to get underneath and run away from the leader. Phil Otto stays up. Now Phil Otto, first car lap down. Justin Napier up in that 54 car. Andy takes advantage of that one. And again, so does AJ Hamel. It's like, right now, Andy is kind of like the guy that sets him up. AJ Hamel just taking advantage of it. And the gap is starting to widen from Hamel to Rogers. So it's actually affecting the first couple of positions. But not by much. It's got now 9/10 of a second. Andy Lambert down low on the 24 car, makes that pass very nicely. Now the 24 stays down low. AJ Hamel trying to get around the 24 car. That's Rick Greenaway. Greeny moves up the track, gives Hamel all the room he needs. Hamel around him clean. This is not exactly what Andy wants to see. All these cars going a lap down means if we have a caution, he's no longer the guy that's going to get the benefit of it. So Andy Lambert really running out there, and unfortunately just in front of the leader. Peyton Johnson moves up, gives Andy room, but here comes the 14. Ooh, 14 got real high that time. I wonder if he's pushing that car just a little bit, maybe heating up the tires. 14 dives below Peyton Johnson. 14 car, AJ Hamel puts another one a lap down. Right now, Peyton, their first car a lap down. If there's a caution, he gets the lap back. Up next, the 45, Doug Wasaki. He moves up out of the way. Peyton Johnson doing a smart thing. He is battling. Still the first car a lap down. Peyton Johnson following the leader. Did a very smart move, although he pushes up right there. I think he's going to be okay because the car that's passing underneath him right now, Brian Rogers in the 12 car. So Brian Rogers actually able to catch back up a little bit. The gap now just 0.75. Is there a chink in the armor for AJ Hamel? Dominating this series the last couple of weeks, looking to try and make it 3 weeks in a row. AJ Hamel in the 14 has led every single lap so far. AJ Hamel in the 14, and right behind him, Brian Rogers Jr. Both cars really have been doing excellent racing the last couple of weeks, along with Justin McDuff and Al Smith Jr. So if those four cars really, and you're talking, those four cars are all in the top 5. So we start lap 60. AJ Hamel absolutely just putting them down right now. Andy Lambert says, you know, if I had the lead, if only I had the lead, nobody would be catching me. Andy Lambert came to race. Unfortunately, early incident. Looks like it may have taken him out of contention on this one. AJ Hamel catches Andy Lambert. Andy gets up out of the way. Hamel around on the inside. Brian Rogers looking to do it next. Lambert staying a lane ahead, or a lane up rather, giving Rogers the ability to get underneath in the next corner and go past. So Andy Lambert had enough. He couldn't be looking in his mirror anymore. AJ Hamel now, free racetrack right up in front of him. Brian Rogers, though, that gap down to half a second, 5/10. So that gap is closing. The 13 car under attack. The 20, the 91 to the inside. Thomas Oxum stuck on the outside, not where he wants to be. McDuff was around. The 91 car right now. Al Smith Jr. trying to take advantage. He has the inside, the preferred line. The 91 looks like he's got a nose up in front of Thomas Oxum. Thomas has no place to go but backwards. He's going to have to fall back in line, try and find a way back around these guys. But right now, we've got Hamill, Rogers, McDuff in the 20, Al Smith Jr. and the 91 running fourth. Thomas Oxum fifth. Here's Jason Fluffy Garrett, not too far behind those guys. He's going to be able to catch back up to him, I believe. JP, Justin Pinnell, still in seventh. Kind of stuck there, but right behind him, Chris Mefford in that 44 car. Again, kind of stuck there. Peyton Johnson, right now, currently scored in ninth. And Peyton, first car, one lap down. Rick Greenaway, he's actually right behind him. Rick Greenaway cracked the top 10. Under a little bit of pressure from the 54 car. That's Justin Napier. And that is for position. 54 car, you see it right there. He gets tight. The rear end of that car comes around as he tries to correct it. And actually loses another position. That's to Fluffy Garrett. So Fluffy is trying to catch those lead pack cars again. Up front, AJ Hamill still up front. Brian Rogers, that gap again getting a little bit bigger. 7/10 of a second right now. Will these guys be able to go 150 laps without tires? That's going to be... Tire strategy has been the thing that's really helped out AJ Hamill. And a couple other guys, really, they have not pit for tires, choosing track position over tires. And it's been working out. But 150 laps on a relatively flat track, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it this time by. There's your third and fourth place cars. The 20 of Justin McDuff, the 91 Al Smith Jr. They're just kind of riding around, putting the laps in. As we have hit the halfway point. 75 down, 75 to go. AJ Hamill has led them all. Looks like Peyton may have gotten into the wall. Peyton Johnson must have touched the wall. He's got damage on the right front fender. And everybody's starting to catch him. You see Rick Greenaway tried to put the attack on. Got squirrely. He went down a little too low. He catches the car back up. But Peyton Johnson, whew, my goodness. He was in trouble. He gathered it back up. Got back up to speed. But you see the damage right there. That right front fender hurting. These guys are all starting to try and move because they know the leader is coming. The 14 car has led every single lap and is really doing his best to put just about every car a lap down in this one. AJ Hamill has found a line. Nobody else is touching him right now. And he is doing one fantastic job. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming out, watching Racing for a Cause TV. I'm a little tired tonight. You can probably hear it. That being said, some fantastic racing going on. That man right there, the 14 car, AJ Hamel, has led all 82 laps so far. Only one caution here at Langley. And man, it's been fun to watch. Brian Rogers, though, really starting to close that gap. He may have found something working for him. Brian Rogers may have something for AJ Hamel tonight. That gap definitely closing. Phil Otto in the 66 goes up high, gives the leaders room to race. Good job, Phil Otto, the flying Aussie in that 66. Very gracious driving right there. Ooh, we've got the 24 car. 24 car just mowing the grass out there. Not sure what happened, but that dropped him out of the top 10. Rick Greenaway back to 12th right now. Was 9th, now 13th. As Wasaki goes around, Greenaway says enough is enough. He's coming down pit road for service. Will the car go up? It does. Right sides at the very least for Greenaway as we check back in with your leader. That gap just a little over 0.3 of a second right now. Brian Rogers trying to figure out a way to catch AJ Hamel. 0.333 right now. There it is right now. 90 laps done, 60 remaining. One caution for 5 laps, 0 lead changes. Not one. Brian Rogers looks like he's trying to figure out a way around AJ Hamel. He may be close enough now where he might be able to put the attack button in. .266, just under 0.3 of a second separating those two cars as they're doing 90 miles an hour off the straightaways into the corners. Peyton Johnson out of the way for the leaders. Again, gracious driving. That is why we've only had one caution so far. Jason Garrett coming down pit road for service. Jason Garrett hits pit road. Let's see if tires go up. Yep, right side's going up right now. We'll stick here for just a second, see if we can get some left sides on that 73 car. Is he going to be willing to stay out long enough to get both sets of tires? Oh, looks like Jason may have just called the race. He may have just let it go right there. No longer being shown on track, going down in position. I think Jason just may have called it a night. AJ Hamill still up in front. That lead really hasn't changed all that much for the last few laps here. Brian Rogers still trying to figure out a way around. Couple of drivers have retired so far. Thomas Axum, he's going to finish the night in 15th position. Looks like Jason Garrett did in fact call it a night. He's loading up the trailer right now. Jason looks like he's going to end 14th. Rick Greenaway, he's running 13th right now, 5 laps down. Andy Lambert just in front of him, 12th position. Doug Wasaki, Doug running 11th. Justin Napier in the 54, running 10th. Charles Widner, excuse me, Charles, running in 9th. Phil Otto, the Flying Aussie, running in 8th position right now. Peyton Johnson, that 85 car, running 7th. Chris Mefford, the 44, running in 6th position. JP, Justin Pinnell, cracks the top 5, running 5th. Al Smith Jr. in the 91, he's 4th position right now. Justin McDuff in the 20 car, running 3rd. Right, oh, the battle is on. Brian Rogers in the 12 car, running in 2nd, and AJ Hamill up front as he has been for the entire race. Brian Rogers looking like he was trying to figure out a way to get around that 14. Ooh, AJ Hamill gets into the wall. That could affect the momentum on that 14 car. We're going to see, can Brian Rogers take advantage in the next corner or two? That's when he's going to have to do it. The lead right now, just 0.25. AJ able to bounce back from touching the wall. As a lead back again to 0.25. It's almost willing that car just to go forward. These guys are running slightly separate lines. It looks like AJ Hamill is going up a little closer to the wall than Brian Rogers right now. And that may be why Brian Rogers was able to catch him, but he has not found a way around that 14 car yet. The 12 car still searching, still trying to find a way. AJ Hamill looking to cross the start-finish line, starting lap 120 of 150. We've got 31 laps to go until it's all done. Couple of lap cars right in front of the leaders. The 44, Chris Mefford, the 60 car. Actually, excuse me, Chris Mefford not down a lap right now. So the 44 just trying to find a way around the 60 so he doesn't go a lap down. But right now, Mefford not able to do it. And actually, I got to correct myself too again because JP not a lap down. JP running in 5th. So they're running for 5th position right now as the leaders are right behind them. And they are there catching them. And it's going to be a matter of who gives who. Don't expect to see top 5 driver go up out of the way of the leaders this close to the end. I wouldn't even ask it of them. They're racing for top 5. They need to race. 44 car really threw it in. He got tight. 44 goes up the track. AJ Hamill looking to pounce. The 12 car also looking to pounce. That is going to put Mefford a 1 lap down. The car in front of them now, JP, Justin Pinnell in the 60, as the 2 leaders, AJ Hamill and Brian Rogers Jr. got around the 44 car of Chris Mefford. Now trying to catch JP, the leader. JP in the 60 car trying to fight to stay on the lead lap. Right behind him, the leader, AJ Hamill, Brian Rogers. Brian Rogers, you saw just a lap and a half ago. He went way to the outside trying to get around that 14 car. Just didn't have enough momentum to carry him around. Brian Rogers in the 12 trying to figure out a way to maybe use the 60 car as a pick. JP taking kind of a different line that time, went up a little higher, came back down on the low side. 14 and the 12 brake check each other. AJ Hamel crosses the start-finish line as we get ready for 10 more laps. 10 laps to decide it. Can AJ Hamel start and finish this race in the lead? AJ Hamel in the 14 has led every single one. Brian Rogers in second, trying to figure out a way to get around that 14 car. Hasn't been able to yet. The 60 car just ahead of him. That's JP, Justin Pinnell. He's running fifth. Ooh, AJ Hamel gets into the back bumper of the 60. AJ Hamel trying to get that 60 to go because Brian Rogers breathing down his back door. Three laps to go now. 3 for AJ Hamel in the 14 car. Can Brian Rogers figure out a way to get around that 14 car? Right now, the 60 just kind of in the way of those two racing just a little bit. AJ Hamel defending that low line. Oh, we got the leaders into it. AJ Hamel, Brian Rogers. Looks like Brian hits the brakes. He doesn't want the pass like that. They lose some position to each other, and that is the race. So he put the bumper on him. Got him a little sideways. He backed off. He didn't want to win it like that. Good racing from Brian Rogers. And your winner, third week in a row, this time doing it all 150 laps, the 14 car, AJ Hamel. Oh my. Behind him, Brian Rogers in the 12, Justin McDuff in the 20, ended up third. Al Smith Jr. fourth. JP bringing it home fifth. Chris Mefford sixth. Charles Widner seventh. Phil Otto eighth. Peyton Johnson ninth. Justin Napier 10th. We'll round out the rest of the field. Coming home 11th tonight, Doug Wasaki. 12th, Andy Lambert. 13th, Rick Greenaway. 14th, Jason Garrett. 15th, Tom Axum. What a race. There's your summary. 150 laps completed, 0 lead changes. AJ Hamel led them all, again, without hitting the pits. And that is going to do it for us here at Racing for a Cause TV. I want to thank everybody who's come out to watch tonight. Really do appreciate it. I want to say thank you to all the drivers, because if it wasn't for them, I'd have nothing to talk about. We could look at the track together and it would be pretty boring. So thank you to all the drivers at Racing for a Cause. Thank you to all the viewers here at Racing for a Cause TV. Laura, thank you. I appreciate it. I know it wasn't the best. I am pretty tired, and it's only going to get worse as work gets busier, as winter comes closer. But that is it for tonight. Really, again, I appreciate everybody coming out. Have a very, very good night.